Now, when I was a kid, I would think to myself, "By Grandma, you're almost 100 years old. How in the world would you know if I ever sold a clock?" But somehow Grandma, she just seemed to know everything. Well, unfortunately, my grandma passed away peacefully, I would say. The thing about it is, she always kept these little weird, creepy little knickknacks around the house. Some would say that Grandma was a conjure woman. She used to put a root on people. I used to ask my mom all the time, what did that mean? Put a root on somebody. My mom would always say,
Hush up now, boy. We need to get to church.
So for many years, I tried to figure out what Grandma was really all about. Now, ever since I got rid of that old clock, I haven't been able to sleep. It's like I'm hearing a clicking and a ticking. I even feel like my room is different, feels a bit colder. Have you ever felt like you like shapeshifted or went into a whole nother dimension where things just felt slightly different or off? My girlfriend just dumped me, so I mean, maybe it's that. I don't know, but I'll be honest with you. I really have a secret. I did something really, really bad, and I'm wondering if that old cuckoo clock knows what I did. You see, back to the cuckoo clock story, let me tell you. Every hour on the hour, out jumped this cricky little black bird with frightening big eyes and a stiff stare. Grandma always told me that the cuckoo clock knew things. It even knew when a person would die. Now that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I would ask Grandma,
What do you mean it knows when a person's gonna die?
She would say,
You don't want to wake that old cuckoo clock. It's always a listening. It knows the time and the season and every reason. So let's not talk about that too much now, you hear?
Grandma would whisper in my ear. I would say,
But Grandma, that sounds like something really scary to me.
she would always sound irritated when she told me this.
Hush up now, boy. Everybody is gonna die someday. But there's something really mysterious about that clock.
So I respected what Grandma said, and so she told me a little bit more about that old cuckoo clock.
Well, your grandpa was a young man, and when he was traveling one day down a long road, he ran into a traveling man, a man that used to sell things off his horse and carriage. Now, the traveling man had a bunch of old, unique things that dated all the way back yonder, back to the Civil War and beyond. He had old soldier buttons from the Civil War, lockets of hair, old leather shoes, paintings, jewelry, you name it. He even had some teeth. Well, the traveling man said to your pa,
I have something that's priceless, that will give your family wealth. As long as you take good care of it, you will be so happy and you'll have anything you've ever wanted.
Now, the traveling man said this with a really strange smile. Well, your pa was down on his luck and wanted to take care of his family, and he agreed to take a look at what he was talking about. And the traveling man went inside the back of the carriage and dug around for a minute. He then pulls out an old wooden box and opened it, and it was a cuckoo clock. Now, your pa said it was really, really old, but it had a mystery about it that he just couldn't ignore. And the traveling man said,
You know, that old clock was made from an old coffin of a medicine man who could tell the future and that knew when bad fortune would come. Whoever possesses of this clock and takes mighty fine care of the clock would have good luck, but whoever mistreats this cuckoo clock would have a terrible, terrible curse upon them. So, instead of just burying the medicine man in its coffin, they took bits and pieces of his coffin and some of his hair and made a cuckoo clock out of it. The clock was made by a blacksmith that happened to be someone that respected this medicine man. This was the only way to preserve his memory and to keep his old magic alive.
My grandma told me, looking me firmly in the eye, that this is what the traveling man said. So Grandpa went on to say to my grandma,
The problem was that the old cuckoo clock caused misfortune. It was like the spirit of the medicine man was restless. So, after a seance was performed, it was told another conjurer or medicine man had to have the clock and would need to show love and gratitude towards it in order to receive blessings from it.
Well, child, your old pa knew that this cuckoo clock was meant for him, for he understood its mysteries and powers and vowed to take good care of it and honor the medicine man. Pa took home that old clock and put a new motor and a ring of copper in it. He cleaned it up and added fresh herbs and roots and different things to it. Just some things that his mother taught him. He would then do a chant. It was so weird because Pa, he'd be working late and late, working on that cuckoo clock. He wouldn't hear a thing, even if I called him down for supper. There was nothing that could break his focus. I would say, Pa, you're ready for bed. He wouldn't even hear me. He would work on that clock all the way until the sun come up. Do you know that he got that old clock to do some magic? It wasn't even the same clock. He even shined it up and fixed up the bird, made his eyes look a little bit better, and even put some feathers on it. Now, please don't ask me where Pa found those feathers. Now remember, the cuckoo clock had lockets of the conjuring man's hair. So it was a sort of mysterious looking bird.
I asked my grandma,
Why would he do all that just for a little old regular clock, Grandma?
Shh! Pa, I am trying to teach you, boy, to respect the dad. It wasn't just a regular old clock. This clock brought us good fortune, so hush up, you hear? You have to remember we have the gift of the veil. You know what that means? That means we can see on the other side. You probably have the same gift. So, us being from Louisiana, you know you've got to use your gift wisely now, boy. Like I told you, little religious mama, that religious mama of yours who never want to listen to a thing. She needs to recognize that cuckoo clock, help her find a good husband. If you betray me now, little one, and sell that clock, old Grandma is gonna know.
I swear, Grandma. I swear I will never sell that old cuckoo clock.
Grandma told me never to sell that clock, but guess what I did? I went and I sold it. And ever since then, I was just feeling really weird, and I guess it's time for me to just admit what happened. The day I decided to sell the cuckoo clock, I decided to go out with some friends. Yeah, probably wasn't the best idea. They didn't really live that far from me, but I felt like I needed just to kind of get out, man. My girlfriend just dumped me. I stayed a little bit too late at my friend's house, had a little bit too much to drink. maybe a lot to drink, really shouldn't have been driving. I had hopped in my car, and I kind of don't remember all the details of my story here, but just bear with me. I hopped in my car. I know I saw a couple of kids walking, and I couldn't understand it because it was so late. But part of me couldn't even think straight. I was just trying to drive straight without crashing. But I hit some kind of bump and swerved. Next thing you know, I hit something really like something hard, and I blacked out. Well, when I woke up, my car was smoking. I ran into a tree. I mean, my head was dizzy, woozy. I stumbled out of my car to see what I hit. And when I turned around, I looked about, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 feet ahead of me. And those same kids that I saw walking looked like I hit them. In fact, I smashed them up against a tree, and I knew they were dead because they didn't have any face. Man, well, I knew I would be in so much trouble with the law. I mean, I was already ducking and diving from them in the first place. I was already just got off probation from doing too much drinking and driving. So, my car, luckily, was still drivable, so I was able to get back home. But man, oh man, barely made it. I tried to check my car out to see if I had any blood or splatter or anything, so I decided to go ahead, and the next day I decided to get it cleaned and at the car wash, you know. Then I knew I had to get it fixed. Went ahead and called my insurance company, and I was hoping to God they didn't see any kind of human anything. And the most important thing, I was hoping that those kids wouldn't show up in the news. Well, the eerie thing about it is, after this happened the next day, when the cuckoo clock decided to ring his little dumb bell and come on out, that bird, I swore to God that bird was looking right at me. Normally its eyes just kind of look like vacant, but this time it looked like that bird was looking right into my soul. Kind of looked like it turned its body and everything. And then the other strange thing is, the cuckoo clock, instead of it ringing every hour, it started ringing every 5 minutes. Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. I said, oh my God, does the bird know what I've done? So I got nervous, and that's when I knew I had to get rid of that clock. I was planning on doing it anyway, but I knew I was gonna be in trouble if I didn't get rid of it, because somehow I felt like that old cuckoo clock was gonna tell on me. So, during the estate sale after Grandma died, I went ahead and let folks know that the clock was for sale and that it was worth a lot of money, and it didn't take long to get rid of the damn thing. In fact, I got a nice penny for it, especially when I told them it brought good luck. But ever since then, things just got worse and worse. So, I went ahead the next day after I sold the clock. I couldn't really sleep at night, so I called my ex-girlfriend Melissa. I didn't want to tell her what I did, but I also felt afraid to sleep in my house. It just felt like I was hearing the cuckoo clock, like I was hearing the chirping and the bell. I didn't know if I was losing my mind. So I called Melissa and begged her to come over. And she was really into the paranormal, and she sensed something was wrong with me. I gave her a call, and you know what she says.
Hello? Oh my God, I can't believe you're actually calling me. You know, I had a terrible, terrible dream about you.
Oh my God, what do you mean you had a dream about me?
You know I have those dreams.
All right, What dreams are those? Now, deep down inside, I was actually really afraid to find out what she was talking about.
I had this dream that, I don't know, like you like left and you went someplace and I never saw you again. What's happening to you?
I really need to talk to you. Babe, will you please just come over?
Please don't call me babe. You know that you've hurt me. I'm so tired of your drinking and your abusive ways.
I'm asking and begging you, please. Something's not right in my house.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling like there's some really bad omen stuff getting ready to happen to you. What did you do? Something isn't right. I've been seeing black birds coming near my house. I mean, I don't want to get caught up in any of your dark energy. You understand me?
Please, babe, I'm asking you, just come.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out, but if I'm uncomfortable, I'm not going in your house.
About an hour later, Melissa shows up to my door, and she just stood there.
You have something really dark that is in your house. I don't know what you did, but don't lie to me.
I felt like I had to tell Melissa what happened. I asked her if I could come to her house, but she said no. She wouldn't even come inside my own house. I asked her if we could go to a hotel or something, so she agreed. But even going to the hotel, I felt something was on me. Whatever I was running from was with us. Melissa was really feeling uncomfortable to the point where she just said,
You know, I'm taking you home. You have something going on and you better tell me the truth.
So I went ahead and I broke down. Melissa, I'm so sorry. I had too much to drink.
Oh my God, what? You got into another fight?
No, I think I ran somebody over, a couple of people.
What are you talking about? You ran somebody? What? You didn't go to the police?
No, I can't. I'll lose everything. I'll go to jail. I'll probably go to jail for 10 years. I just got off probation. They'll just throw the book at me.
Oh my God, I wish you never told me this. I can't do anything for you. Oh my God, you know what? Oh my God, I saw it on the news. They found these 2 kids that were died in a hit and run. Was that you? Oh my God, I'm leaving. I can't be near you. I can't. I'm sorry. I gotta go. I gotta go.
There was nothing I could do to change her mind. Now she knew my secret. And so did the cuckoo bird. So, I didn't have anyone to talk to, so then I started drinking more. I didn't even go to work. I just spent time drinking and sleeping and having these hellish nightmares. Well, I had the worst nightmare that my life has ever experienced, and it was my last nightmare too. So I had this dream. I'm going on this elevator and there's a conductor. A conductor like they really have those these days. Well, this guy looked crazy. He was 5 feet tall. He looked like a troll with big frumpy hands and big hairy knuckles and hair growing out his ears, and they were real pointy. He had terrible teeth and a terrible smell, and he had on a hat. Well, his outfit was too little for him and it had dust and holes all in it. And he asked me,
What floor are you going on, young man?
And I said to him, what floor? I need to get out of here, or I need to go home.
You are home,
he replied. I'm like, what? No. So I looked at all the buttons in the elevator, and there was hundreds of buttons. It didn't even make sense. There was no way in the world I could get out of this elevator. So I asked him which floor is gonna get me out of this elevator.
Well, currently we're on floor 500, but I'll take you down to the 13th floor if that's what you wish.
Yes, get me out of here. I don't belong in here.
As you wish.
So the conductor pushes the 13th floor, and it felt like we were literally going on this roller coaster ride that was going into hell. I mean, it was just dropping and dropping. My stomach was falling. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I tried clutching on to the wall. There was no railing, and I was so scared. And I'm usually a pretty tough guy. Well, next thing you know, we get to the 13th floor. It seemed like it took for eternity.
Over here.
So the doors open, and to my amazement and fear, guess where I was? It was in a cemetery. I looked at him like, why did you take me here? Who are you?
You're home.
He told me. Said what?
You're home. Now come on and follow me and
oh my God, when will I wake up from this nightmare? So he leads me to this tree. But on this tree, it was like a really black tree. It looked like it had been burned in a fire. But the tree had this mirror. It was like this very tall 8-foot mirror connected to this tree. And when I looked in the mirror, it wasn't just a mirror. It was like I could walk through it. And when I looked inside of it, there were mirrors upon mirrors upon mirrors, and it just went into an infinite place. But the other scary part was I didn't even look the same. I looked like a whole nother person. I looked like a shadowy side of myself. And I said, oh my God, I can't look at myself. Oh. So the conductor says to me,
well, son, it looks like you sold that cuckoo clock. Didn't Grandma tell you not to do that?
What do you mean? How do you know about my grandma?
Well, I know a lot more than you think, you see. I know all your secrets. I know all your lies. I also know that you didn't take the best care of your grandma. In fact, when she was dying, you didn't feed her properly. And you meticulously waited for her to die. You thought no one knew, but old Cuckoo Clock knew.
He laughed mischievously. What do you mean you know what?
I saw you sprinkle that stuff in your grandma's tea. I saw what you put in her food. You see, Grandma would have lived like most of her sisters and brothers, at least 105. But you cut off about 15 years of her life. Grandson, she told you not to sell old Cuckoo Clock, 'cause Cuckoo Clock knows rhymes and reasons in every season.
No, what are you talking about, please?
I also know the secrets that you did when you were a young guy. Yep, I remember when you pushed that boy off the cliff when you went on the camping trip. And everyone was looking for poor Cody. And you pushed him, didn't you?
I started crying like a child. I couldn't believe this thing knew everything.
I know what you did to your parents. To give them carbon monoxide poisoning so you could take all their money. In fact, you've done a lot of pretty nasty things to people. And you've taken away the lives of quite a few. And I'm here to let you know that old Cuckoo Clock knew I've been watching you. So, now it's your turn to face your fears. Come.
And I followed this creature. He pointed to the mirror.
Go on. go inside of it.
I can't go inside of a mirror.
On this land you can.
No, I can't. The man was the cuckoo clock, I realized, and he tightened his grip on my wrist, and he pushed me inside the mirror. And suddenly I saw infinite faces of myself, and I realized I was trapped in the halls of these mirrors, looking at everything I had ever done to people, looking at how I slowly my grandma, looking at how I bullied people, looking at how I beat up Melissa, looking at how I lied, how I pushed Cody off the cliff, looking at the 2 young people I killed innocently. Well, that's the problem. It wasn't innocent. I was drinking. I began to see flashbacks of my entire life and realized all the mistakes I had done and that it was too late. So I turned around to try to get out the mirror, and there was nothing I could do. It was sealed up, and I was stuck inside the mirror. I was stuck in a forever sleep paralysis, and I never woke up from this dream. And I cried out, "Oh, Grandma, please, where are you? I need you. Please save me. I need that old cuckoo clock now."